That's always a bad look. What's up, guys? I'm back, and today we're going to revisit this bad boy, and specifically the Holosun red dot that I have sitting on there. But before we get into it, make sure you follow me at MaddMaxGuns. That's MaddMaxX Guns on Instagram. It gives you behind the scenes look at everything that I'm doing in the future, and you would have seen a picture of this gun talking about how I've been shooting more lately, and I can't wait to talk about it. But again, follow me at MaddMaxGuns, MaddMaxX Guns on Instagram. And let's get into it. So what I have here is the first build that I ever did of an AR-15. Most of this stuff is budget, some of it's not. So this build started life in 2015, and it's changed several times, almost non-stop in the past 5 years. But we're gonna go from rear to the front. Once we're done going over the gun, we'll go over everyone's favorite budget red dot, the Holosun 503. But starting in the back here, we got a old Magpul CTR that has seen better days. Got the sub-def sticker on there for, you know, extra accuracy points. CTR, proven stock. It was all the hotness 5 years ago. Still a worthy stock today. That's why it sits on there. Buffer tube is a, I believe, a 6 position. It's just a standard buffer tube, nothing special. Inside here I got the Geissele Super 42 with the H1 buffer. It serves me well. I have no complaints about that. Is it a noticeable difference? I don't notice any difference. The sound's a little different, but I had an H2 in here before, and it hasn't made a difference in my shooting at all. The lower receiver is a Black Sheep 6 tactical billet receiver. My commander in the Army, back when I was in Kansas, was producing uppers and lowers at the time. He since then has stopped, but I made sure I got one of those while I was there. The trigger is a CMC flat blade drop-in trigger. It's a good old one stage. I believe it's like a 3.5 pound pull. Very crisp. What I suggest is over a Geissele, not a day in my life. But for when you can get them on the cheap, it's not a bad thing. I would just suggest that you get a Geissele 2-stage instead, but that's my opinion. Take it for what it is. Back here I got a Seekins Precision 45-degree safety. Hate it, but it works. Got a good old E-mag in here. Got the bad lever. Everyone needs one or not. Up to you. Got some KNS anti-walk pins in here. It looks cool. That's the only reason I did it. Up top here, we're running a Brownells bolt carrier group. The mag phosphate one cleans up really good. It's mil spec. Everything's staked and in good working order. And yeah, for $100 when they're on sale, can't beat it. Charging handle, BCM mod. I don't know, the gunfighter with the medium latch. Big fan of them. Never had any complaints. It's my second favorite charging handle behind the Geissele. Back here, got a CAC flip-up sight for the U.S. Marine Corps, surplus, whatever. The upper is a surplus ammo upper. I don't even know if they're a company anymore. It was a $45 upper. And it's got the keyhole forging. Up top, like I said before, Holosun 503G. Now this is where we get interesting. The barrel is a Ballistic Advantage. I forget what series. It is a mid-length gas system, 16-inch barrel with a 1-in-7 twist. They guarantee sub-MOA accuracy with match-grade ammo. I'm not sure if they're considering 3 or 5 round groups sub-MOA, because some companies will say, oh, our bolt-action barrels are guaranteed 5-shot groups. Our semi-automatic barrels are guaranteed 3-shot groups. Regardless, with match-grade ammo, 77 grain Mark 262 or some Sierra Match King Fiocchi that I was shooting, or the 75 grain Hornadies, all sub-MOA with 193 ball ammo. You're looking at 1.5 to 2 inches, which is very acceptable for 55 grain ammunition. Now for a sling here, you got my favorite sling, the Ferro Concept Slingster. This one's pretty old, like 4 3 or 4 years old. The handguard here is a ALG Defense, or yeah, ALG Defense. It's Geisley's sister company. I bought this not knowing what Geisley was at the time. I wanted like the Troy circular rail. This is almost the same thing. Love this rail. I've had a couple of them and I'm a big fan. The new ones are even cooler looking. If this was available at the same time as what the new ones are available, I would have went with the new one, but this is what we got. It's got M-LOK in weird spots. It's not in 3 or 9 o'clock. It's like at the 1 and 4, and same on the other side. I don't use Mayway. Doesn't matter. If you're using light, it makes it so you don't have to get an offset mount to have it tucked in there, but again, I'm not using the M-LOK up there for anything. Underneath here, I got the BCM CAG. Probably my favorite M-LOK grip. I was using a vertical foregrip for the longest time, but this is like, I don't know. I like this a lot. Up front here, we got a Daniel Defense fixed front sight post. I don't shoot irons, but I plan on it with this gun. That's why I put them on here. But like I've said in previous videos, I'm a big fan of this. It gives you a reference point when you're looking through here. So even if the dot's not on and you need this for like a home defense situation, you can just use the front sight post and point shoot. But again, I don't really use it. Like I said before, it's a mid-length gas system. I just have a low profile gas block on here, and I don't know, I think it's the Brownells or BCM or something like that, but it hasn't failed me yet. No complaints there. Now, moving forward, we got the old Surefire muzzle brake. This is before the SOCOM. This is before the SOCOMs came out. If I were to even get a SOCOM suppressor, it wouldn't work on here. I would have to swap this out. But this lends to this being like the smoothest shooting AR that I own, but you don't want to be around it when I'm shooting. Terrible concussion. I'm not sure if it was in the entrance video or not, but you saw me put this through the hole on a barrier, and the brake was through the hole, but the concussion blasted the wood on the barrier out. That says a lot. A lot of concussion. Very loud. Didn't touch on it when it was back here, but got the Magpul K2 grip, and yeah, got a really good vertical grip angle. Big fan of that. I put grips with this grip angle on almost everything now. Mostly the BCM Mod O's or the B5 system, but I've said it a ton of times. Great grip angle. Just easier to shoot than like an A2 grip angle. So let's talk about the performance of this gun. It's a 16-inch gun, shoots MOA with match grade ammo. You can shoot .12 splits with it if you're really getting behind it. It's light, easy to maneuver, you can swing it around, comfortable. For a 16-inch AR that's like relatively budget-minded, I have zero complaints about this, except one, and it's about the handguard. When this handguard heats up, and it heats up, it gets really hot and it stays really hot. It takes a very long time for it to cool down, so if you plan on going out and shooting all day, a wise man once always told me, no glove, no love. And this gun feels the same way. Like I said in the beginning of the video, this isn't so much a review on this gun as much as it is a revisitation of the gun and a revisitation of the Holosun 503G. I caught a lot of flack in the last video that I did talking about this, saying that I wasn't happy with the optic, and that's not necessarily true as much as I was very disappointed in the mount, but at the same time, in retrospect, you're talking about $140 to $160 optic. For as good as this optic is, they should just sell it without the mount and you buy the mount separate, because their mounts are horrible. It bent, it was flimsy, it was light, I guess, but ever since I put the Aimpoint T2 mount, like the stock Aimpoint T2 that I took off my friend's Aimpoint, we put a Geisley mount on that, I almost feel dumb for buying the Aimpoint T2. I should take that back. I don't feel dumb about buying that at all, because that optic's the shit. But for range work, this performs. I I hate saying it, but it performs similar to how the T2 does. There's no, the dot is pretty crisp. This is as light and has as good of battery life as an 8-point T2. It has the same reflection problem with the red tint up there, but like the glass clarity, if it's clean, not all smudged up with fingerprints like it is right now, they knocked it out of the park with this thing. So like, to all you guys that bashed me before and saying like, oh, you shouldn't just step on your case when you put the gun in there or else your sight wouldn't have been bent. I guess you're right, but the mount shouldn't have bent. But I also talk shit to people about saying like, oh, I would never spend $100 on a mount when this optic costs $150. Again, in hindsight, I probably would, knowing what I know now. If you're going to go out there and buy a Holosun 503 or anyone in this series, don't think twice about it. Get rid of the mount right away. Put on a Geisley mount, a lower 1/3 Geisley mount. Look for old T2 mounts that people are selling on the second market. LaRue mounts, Daniel Defense mounts. Get wild and go buy a ScalarWorks mount. I don't care. Get rid of that mount and mount this bad boy on there and you will not be disappointed. Or if you got money like that, just buy T2. It is a better optic, more durable, better construction. But if you're like just looking for range work or like a class gun or a lender gun, Holosun all day. They're finally becoming less and less of a stigma to have on your rifle because of the pistol dots that they've been coming out with, which I haven't tried one, but probably will in the future. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I know it was just a revisitation of my old faithful here. It doesn't really have a name, but if you got any questions about this gun, if you got any questions about this dot, if you got any questions about anything, drop them in the comment below. Yes, this is spray paint. No, I'm not going to make a video on spray painting. There's plenty out there. Just tape off what needs to be taped, spray it, and if you don't like it, spray over it. And if you don't like it, you can citrus strip it and try again. The world is your oyster, but I digress. Hope you liked this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, as always, eat a dick. If you haven't subscribed already, make sure you do that. Also, make sure you follow me on Instagram and watch my other videos. I'll see you next time, dudes.